Okay, so why did it seem like I was hassling some youngsters on their job, like don't have a right to do it, their job and stuff? And the thing is like I'm not trying to hassle. I'm trying to irritate them a little bit so that they think, because what they were doing was, in a very hubristic way, they were approaching people for support, telling them that they were doing something. So you're telling them that they're doing a great thing, and then taking their money, but you didn't inform them anything about what their money is being used to do, and it's going to administrators who decide whatever that they want to do with it. So if the whole thing is stopping bullies and saving the children, then I look at the schools in the neighborhood that I'm in. Okay, this in this area, the schools, there's not going to be no bullies in these schools. Not in these schools. The only ones that are going to be bullying is the teachers. It's the only ones that are going to be bullying, and I don't even think it's them. I think they get put up to it by somebody telling them that they will be celebrated. Same thing like if they want to recruit a lot of people to start a foreign legion to go to Ukraine, they said you're going to be celebrated. That's how they use people. They said you're going to be remembered. Okay, and then people will you know, put themselves up to that for some. Yeah, it's just disgusting. So if you want to go where there's bullying, it's probably going to be in like overcrowded high schools in metropolitan areas, like in more poor places. So the little money that you're collecting from people is going to go up against, you're just going to give it over to the impoverished areas to do with. It's like a drop in the, if that's the way you're going to attack the problem, it's a drop in the bucket. How about peeling back some of the bureaucratic emergency measures that were set in place when there was not enough teachers because the teachers were all drafted, or there was some kind of thing where they started arranging desks in rows and straight lines instead of around the room in a circle, because there was no way anybody's going to sit in the back. There was no way that anyone wasn't going to engage. There was no way that there wasn't eyes on you at all times. So going to like a overcrowded like Hiram Johnson High School, almost anywhere you go is a lot of youngsters and no supervision. Okay, they don't have the resources. How are you gonna get it from the people that'll graduate from these fucking crappy schools? Like, it doesn't match up in comparison to the bankroll of a lobby that you're going up against. Like, or either that, or there's just some little loophole that there is an allowance for a certain amount of fundraising that people with dialectical expertise in ramrodding people into their position. And that's why they wanted me to give them a position, because he wanted to ask me a question. I was arbitrary when I asked him about how do you know the change that you guys are advertising that you're going to accomplish, that we're being rewarded for psychologically for tipping it, right? What is it? Where's the information? You know what I mean? He ran out of time and just go to the next person, right? But he wanted to ask me a question, but his question was like, so you're like, you don't believe in saving the children or something like that. How does anybody know that's what you guys are doing? I used to work for a little outfit like you guys too, and I used to bring the box and he would unlock it with the key and take all the money out and go to the fucking nightclub and fucking pop bottle service from those Hooters waitress in the nightclub, okay? Where they paid markup like 400% on alcohol. He was just blowing it. He had crackheads in fucking pay. I don't know if they paid him to sleep in his fucking, like this kind of like a renovated, like a hall, like a with a bedroom, like it's like a bedroom kitchen, but it's kind of like look like a work break area with a hallway and some rooms. And so the money was going to what, like giving these tweakers a place to unwind or something before they go back out and scrounging and hustling and everything. And he's kind of controlling them all, like a little, like, you know, who knows what the fuck that they were all doing up to. That was in East Oakland. But okay, so just because they're not like, you know, they're a little bit more up and up, they have these like schmucks that they wear, okay? Like, it doesn't, there's no way anybody, you would not have any idea if you're doing anything but wasting, and there's just no, so even if they were registered to do that by some oversight, then they're paying to be on the list. Like, you're paying them for their good name and status and stuff before they even start to accomplish anything that you could do. So when that's before I brought the camera. The second, when I brought my phone out to record the conversation the second time, I kind of already knew what it was about, but and then it's kind of like, well, because like it's so hard to find a job, then you got to let me do this grift or something, or you know what I mean, like back off. So I did back off. Like, I'm not gonna bully them just because I think that they're part of a whole shakedown, a whole grift or whatever. And if I'm not gonna offer solutions, then you can't complain. But I did offer solutions when I turned off the phone again, because I wanted to point out there are actually people in ways that do something, but what you're accomplishing is, and it's like, you're not gonna be celebration, you know, they're not gonna, no, you're not gonna be celebrated, but you're not supposed to want that. Like, it's not the fucking whole point. That's not of reciprocity or anything. That's not the whole fucking point. So it's like a little bit like, you're not wrong. Like, you probably did have to go out and find a grind or something to do with your time, and you're like, there's things that are like redeemable, but fucking that is a scam, bro. I don't really engage the Salvation Army people. They don't speak English and everything like that, for one thing. They're every bit as much of a scam. However, it's the same thing. Like, okay, I couldn't even really engage like that, you know. Yeah, otherwise, you turn into the troll. You turn into the bully or whatever, possibly. So it's just, I would say, get some information together and write up a mission statement. And then when people donate, you give them a website, you give them with a sheet, like a flyer with some information on it, and they can look into it. They can follow up and stuff. But this is just like, yo, watch me get out the way. Let me get this guy. Let me get that. Hey, sir. And then they ask them a question like, do you do you have a soul? You know what I mean? Like, do you have a heart? Like, you would like thinking like appeal to that which registers as innocence being attacked. Then anybody can just be a blank check. And so I understand you got a job and everything. Like, I'm not trying to, like, you're doing better than I am. And if you, like, because I had to walk away from a couple jobs because I had a stress tension issue that took me kind of off of being able to function temporarily at times. It's like spasm attacks and right back here. So I couldn't effectively I couldn't effectively work, but it has to be a different kind of work, like a driving job where I can keep the tennis ball back there in case it happens and roll out of it. And, you know, it's not like you have to take yourself away from what you're doing. So, but yeah, the difficulty in fucking being able to keep a dignified position turning ends and making ends meet is not mean that you're working a real job. Like it could be a job. Like it could be the negative connotation of what a job could mean. You're going to change something. So it's like explain. They think that if they throw out a couple of dialectical words, they don't need to have a mission statement. They don't need to tell you some way to follow up on what kind of decisions that are being made. If you know who it is that is sending them out there, then you at least know the type of decisions that are going to be, like the approach to solving the problem is different, you know, depending on who it is that's getting this money. And I don't want money to go to somebody whose whole thing is stirring up vitriol against somebody that they want to keep trying to whack. You know what I mean? Like, sure, you can be all this good and wonderful things and everything, but can you distract yourself from trying to kill the goddamn president for a minute? No. Then I mean, fucking anything associated with like then your whole organization is, to me, is criminal enterprise. I don't know. That's just how I feel.